Welcome back. Let's start with the sky. Let's pick up some white and some cerulean blue. I'm gonna go ahead, drop a simple sky here. And maybe a little bit here. We're gonna have a big tree over there. Just maybe some will show. And just picking up some white and blend it into the blue. And this way we can have a transition from dark to light. Now while that sky is still wet, I'm gonna pick up a round brush, small round brush. I'm gonna pick up some of that white and we're gonna come here and apply a very simple cloud. Nothing too fancy. Just move your brush on the canvas like that, and the sky color is wet and hasn't dried yet, so it creates soft transition and give your clouds some character. I'm gonna let this dry, and later on I'm gonna go ahead and apply some more highlights to the clouds. Alright, while that paint is drying, I'm gonna pick up a fan brush, some ultramarine blue, maybe a touch of white. We're gonna create a soft and very cool color for some distancy looking trees here, you know, some hilltops and stuff like that, with some trees in the distance. So we're gonna pick up a color that is close to our sky color, which is blue, and I'm gonna come up here and just tap. I'm gonna have a tree over here, so very cool. You can create hundreds, if not thousands, of trees in a matter of seconds. And maybe we can come up a little bit here. Alright, now I'm gonna pick up some white and I'm gonna tap some white at the bottom of these trees. And with a mop brush, I'm gonna go ahead and just soften it and create illusion of some mist at the bottom of these trees. I'm gonna pick up a little more ultramarine blue. And this time I don't add any white. We're going to come up here and create another hilltop with trees. So essentially you're putting dark against that very soft, misty trees or background, like so. Now we're going to create same idea over here. I'm going to tap some white at the bottom of these trees. And maybe this time I pick up a bigger brush. Same idea, same as the other one. And just go ahead, create some mist. And time to time get the excess paint off your brush very softly. Easily you can create some cool effect with this technique. Just don't press hard. Don't press hard. Just very soft. And just go ahead and fix it a bit. Just like so. Barely touching the canvas. And you don't hear the sound. Very softly. Alright, so our sky color is dry now. I'm gonna pick up some of that white again. And I'm just gonna go ahead and apply some highlights here and there to this cloud. And at this stage it's gonna be some dry brush technique because the background paint is dry. So nothing will blend. You can leave some hard edges here and there, but go ahead, soften a few. We're going to pick up some more ultramarine blue, and this time we're going to add a touch of black to it. So essentially we're going to make a darker shade of that color, and we're going to come here, create another row of these trees. We don't want to kill the mist, so we're going to come lower. And I'm gonna have a tree over here, but I'm just gonna go ahead and block this area as well. And just go ahead and tap. And you see how the contrast works, Painting is all about details and contrast. You can't have a painting without details. You can't have a painting without contrast and colors. So a few more. Just tapping like that. Some more ultramarine. And same idea, some white, back to my blender brush. And just very softly on top, very softly. I hope I'm not blocking your view. If I am, I'm sorry. And just bring that color down here. use the other corner of the brush, clean it up, and just go over it again. Now this got dry, and then we can use dry brush technique to basically create more mist if you want. I'm just gonna pull some of that color, some of that wet darker color, pull it down like so. And create same effect. And I'm gonna go over it very lightly, barely touching the canvas. I'm gonna go ahead and with the same fan brush and some dark, almost same color, we're gonna go ahead drop another row of these trees over here, and we're gonna keep like the other rows of the trees that we had. We're gonna keep the mist, so we're gonna come essentially a bit lower. Now I went ahead and I, with a liner brush and a gesso, black gesso, outlined my tree so I won't lose the sketch. So I'm going to come over here, same idea. And with my blender brush, I'm going to go ahead and just blend it into the base of these trees. And we, just like that, we created another row and more perspective, more depth into this painting. Now I'm going to go ahead and continue this dark around this, behind this tree. So if you doing this painting at home, just go ahead and take it all the way behind the tree. It helps to have some dark, some color to work with. And I'm going to pull some of that color. Gives the impression of tree trunks and stuff like that. And go ahead and just blend that. I'm gonna come over here. I have more paint. I'm gonna go over there and take this color behind that tree. Now you don't want to overdo this because you can easily lift up paint. So very softly, very lightly. If you're not happy with the results, leave it alone, let it dry, and then with some dry brush technique you can go ahead and create more mist. Alright, so done with the trees. We're going to pick up some phthalo blue, some light green. If you don't have phthalo blue, you can use ultramarine blue or any blue that you have and you like. And we're going to go ahead and create some bushes in the distance. As we move to the foreground, we're going to get a little bit darker, so the land is moving this way toward us and it's going away from us. So around here we're going to go with cool colors, and we're going to mix in some of that phthalo blue. With that green, maybe a touch of white, see what we get. And we're going to come here and create some bushes here. This is a very soft brush, so it doesn't create much of a texture. Some distance looking bushes. I can even go a little bit bluer. Maybe go a little bluer here. and just soften the top. And we're going to go ahead, get darker, and just move to the foreground and create another layer of these bushes here. And pick up some of that green, just apply on top. Maybe a touch of black. And the bottom of these bushes get a bit darker color. And maybe some over here. And we have a big rock sitting over here, so just apply maybe more, some more bushes. Now these are in the foreground, relatively. So later on we're going to go ahead and create some details with a liner brush. Just apply some background color for them. This will serve as, let's think about underpainting, for example. But those we're gonna some highlight and leave them alone. And the areas that I'm not coloring is applying paint. We're gonna have rocks and stuff. And maybe another one over here. And as we get to the base of these bushes, I'm gonna pick up some phthalo blue and black and just darken the base, and just move up and blend the whole thing. Get a nice transition. This will serve as an underpainting for when we pick up our liner brush, detail brush, whatever you want to call it. You will see later on that we apply more details, and just some same idea behind this tree. And same idea, same green, same blue. We're gonna come here and apply another row and get darker as we move to the foreground. Just continuing with same brush, same colors. Alright, with same brush and some of that light green, we're going to come over here and apply some highlights, you would say, on these bushes. Not so much details though, and just blend. And maybe a little bit more over here. Maybe we pull that, some of that blue as well. Create some variation of colors over here. And let's see. I'm gonna come here and just apply a little lighter value. Separate these two. Maybe create another row over here. It's up to you. Alright, we're gonna move to this tree now, and we're gonna pick up a bit of raw umber, maybe some black, and we indicate the tree trunk for this tree. I'll bring it low. Right here. Almost to the foreground. A few branches. I'm going to pick up some black, some sap green, and I'm going to go ahead with this brush loosely, indicate the leaves, and and later on we're going to go ahead and highlight it. We're going to highlight these bushes as well. As you see, it's acrylic, it's drying a little bit the matte finish. I'm going to go ahead and highlight these things one more time. So something like that. I'm going to go ahead and very loosely indicate this tree. And I'm working with sap green and touch of black, just darken that color. I'm going to clean my brush. I'm going to pick up some white, some of the sap green, and create basically a lighter value of it. And I'm going to go ahead and highlight this tree using the same brush. can go a bit lighter later on. Just gonna establish the tree. Some of that darker green. Maybe a little bit wild blue. We're gonna pick up some raw sienna and some of the raw umber. We're gonna come here and apply some highlights to the trunk of this tree. And I'm gonna use raw umber for the shadow side, and maybe even some black. I'm going to pick up some of that raw umber and I'm switching to a filbert brush, some black, some umber. We're going to work on these rocks. I'm gonna do the underpainting for them and then we're gonna highlight them later on. We have a big one over here. And the idea is this is the shadow side. And so let's pick up some raw sienna as well. And just go ahead. Indicate the lighter value as well. Get some of the work done when we apply the underpainting. You know, I don't like to just paint it in a solid black. This way I have an idea what's going on. Now I'm gonna go ahead, apply the dark. And we have one more over here. Now you don't have to paint these rocks the way I paint them. You can paint them the way you're comfortable and the way you usually paint your rocks. We're gonna get some of that raw sienna, maybe some of that raw umber, and we're gonna come here and work on these rocks, get some highlights. Give them some character. Now how realistic you want these rocks to look will tell you, how much work you have to put into them. So if you want to paint them impressionistically, you can. If you want to put hours into each one of them, you also can do that as well. A bit more dark here and there. And when I say dark, I'm basically using burnt umber and black. I'm very loosely applying this dark over here. We want to create contrast between the highlighted side and the shadow side. Now this is the process of fine-tuning these rocks. We're going to have some of these bushes, covering this rock over here. And we're going to have some vegetation over here as well. So just working with the highlight color, with the dark color, some of that dark color, and basically going to fine-tune these rocks. Alright, so I'm gonna pick up a liner brush. I'm gonna pick up some light green, some yellow, and we're gonna start, working on some of these bushes over here, give them a little more details, a little more interest, they're very flat. So what I do, I just, just come to the top and go like that. Just impression of what would you call it, leaves and stuff like that. Maybe more light green on shadow side. Just light green by itself. And I don't want to do all over, just the top, and some maybe yellow. To the highlighted side. And I don't want to do it for those in the back. We're not going to create texture in the back. Just the one in the foreground and maybe mid-ground, stuff like that. So I'm working with just the light green and just blend it, and a bit yellow. Now compared to before, you see it's not as flat, and start looking like some bushes, somehow believable. And same idea here. Alright, so we're gonna pick up some ultramarine blue, maybe a touch of white, and we're gonna come up here and just indicate impression of maybe a river way in the distance, coming to the foreground. And turning into a small waterfall right around here. Maybe it's coming over this rock a little. And the bottom of the fall, we're gonna paint it with blue. Later on we're gonna bring in some water lines and stuff like that and fix it, and we're gonna use some brown or umber to indicate the reflection of those rocks. And then with some white, I'm gonna come here and just create impression of water dropping. And some white over here as well. Alright, creating impression of a river coming toward us. And again, same idea, just tapping some white against that blue background, and we can create impression of some waterfall. Maybe a better view, maybe a better close-up. Just tapping some white. This is a straight white, like so. And just creating impression of maybe some water dropping, small waterfall. Maybe alternate between white and blue. We're probably not going to see any reflection immediately near the waterfall because of the white water, but around here we're going to create some reflection. I'm going to continue with my ultramarine blue and white and a filbert brush. Just going to go ahead and drop that blue over here. We're gonna pick up some raw umber, and I'm gonna come here and just drop it by these rocks or boulders, whatever you want to call them, big rocks. Maybe some black. And go ahead, pick up a mop brush or a blender brush, and very softly just blend the whole thing. And just pull down. Pull down, and then just go ahead and blend it. Get the excess paint off of your brush. Like so. Gotta work quickly while the paint is wet, the blue and the brown, for them to blend. Like so. If you have problem blending them, that means probably either one of those colors that you dropped is dry on you. So just go ahead and repeat the process. Drop some blue and then brown, and then with a mop brush or a blender brush, just very softly, blend them like so. Now I'm gonna pick up some of that white, a bit touch of blue, some water, make it very runny, and I'm gonna come here and just drop an impression of some water lines. Maybe I do some over here. Here and there some water lines, like so. Now I'm gonna pick up some of my sky blue. I'm gonna put it down here, maybe some white. I'm gonna pick up, I'm gonna make, not pick up, I'm gonna make my sky color again, and I'm just gonna extend it into this tree. I think it's better to have a background rather than white canvas. Very simply just paint my sky in here. Most of this area is going to be covered by leaves. That's why I didn't cover it in the beginning. But I think if you have a bluish background, it's better. Alright, we're gonna pick up again some of that raw umber, some black, a filbert brush. So we're gonna paint the tree trunk. I'm gonna drop the first coat, dark tone, whatever you want to call it, base coat. I'm creating some impression of some bumps on this tree trunk. Just I'm gonna give it some character. I'm working with raw sienna now. Just putting impression of some highlighted area here. This is still, I would say, mid-tone. You know, I called it highlight, but technically it's not the final highlight, so just establishing something over here. Maybe some black for underneath this branch, as it doesn't get a lot of light. And maybe I switch to my liner brush and just apply a little of that raw sienna over here and just get a nice blend. Here we go. You could use a palette knife. You could use a liner brush like this. As you pull down the paint, as you pull down the brush, rather, the paint breaks and it creates a illusion of, you know, texture on the tree bark, stuff like that. And then, you know, with some brown, darker color, you can get a blend, soften few areas, you know. Something like that. Alright, I'm going to switch to round brush, and this is long handled brush. We're going to pick up some green, some black. I'm going to make a dark tone for the leaves, and we're going to go ahead and start from here and create some impression of some leaves for this tree. Now, when I'm using that dark green, you're probably not gonna see it against a dark background, but if I do it up there, you will see. So let's do some up here. There we go. Better. And this is how I'm gonna paint it. We're gonna go ahead and, in a, I don't know, comma shape, whatever, just like so. And this is just a base coat, dark tone for the leaves. This is the segment that you have to be, you have to have some patience. You may be tempted to pick up a big brush and just go ahead and stamp some leaves. But if you want to create some details, you know, gotta be patient. Maybe some here as well. Some of the sky will show. Alright, so that's for the dark tone, or the base coat, or whatever you want to call it. And we're going to go ahead and make a mix of lighter green and some yellow. And start highlighting and putting the mid-tone and highlights on this tree. Alright, I have some yellow, I have some light green on my palette. I'm going to get a mix. I'm gonna start from here and get some highlight on some of these leaves. And just like so, you know, we're gonna go ahead and apply some highlights. Same way we applied the mid-tone, the dark tone rather. Continuing with the highlights, still working with yellow, green, light green, and I'm still working with that dark green as well if I need to bring it in, for example here, and you know, apply a touch here and there. That's also on the palette, but mostly we are applying the highlights with the yellow and light green, like so. Some darker green for here. Maybe some highlights here, just bring some interest into this area. Continuing with the highlights, and almost Almost done here with this tree. Few finishing touches here and there. Slowly but surely we can, build up layers after layers, and hopefully, when you're happy with the outcome, you can stop. Some of that darker green and mix it with some yellow, and we're going to come here, apply some highlights or some mid-tone for these bushes here. Not so much details in here. This is enough for these bushes. I'm going to pick up some of that raw umber, some of that sienna. We're going to drop land over here. Maybe some of our green as well. Some grassy area. A little burnt raw umber. And a touch of black maybe. And create some variety of colors, some impression of vegetations and stuff like that. Alright, we're going to pick up some of our light green and probably some yellow ochre and mix with that green. Create different greenish colors, and I'm going to come here, indicate few highlights on these bushes. I'm going to pick up my liner brush, script brush, some of that yellow ochre, maybe some green, light green, a bit water, just make it a bit runny. And I'm going to come here and just create some impression, some overgrown, maybe weeds and stuff like that. Maybe some green. I'm going to switch my brush to a filbert, same colors. I'm going to come here and just apply impression of some grassy area here. And just pull up like that. Maybe a bit raw umber here. And with some green, just go ahead and few indications of some overgrown grass and stuff, some texture in the foreground. Just pull up, apply some color and just pull up like that. Maybe some black, make darker green, and apply here. Blend it to the base of this, grassy, vegetations. Make them look part of the landscape. Some black mixed in with the green, making that dirty green. Some variation in colors, yellow ochre, green, light green. Maybe some around here as well. And with that, I think I can go ahead and call this painting complete. Maybe a few more highlights here and there, just for added interest with a script liner. Just a few highlights. maybe some around here as well. I don't know. Different greens. Smoosh some. And that's about it. I believe I can call it done. Thank you for tuning in, and if you made it this far, appreciate it. And I will see you guys with another painting hopefully soon. I hope you try it at home, and happy painting. All the best wishes for you. Take care.